Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Inferno TV's coverage of intramural sports. It's the Intramural Championship live from Desert Financial. We've got a great one in store for you tonight. It's the Streaky Shooters. Taking on Tito Elite. With me is Cindy Craven. I'm Cash Money Versailles. How are you doing tonight, Cindy?
It's pretty good. This is my second game of the night here in Tempe since pretty close to 3. So it's been a long day, but I'm excited to watch this game and talk some more basketball.
Absolutely. If it's any degree better than the previous one, I'd say we're in shape for a good one. In gold will be Tito Elite. They win the tip-off. Starting with it, it's Elijah Sate. Ong finds Hyenga. Hyenga driving for it. He's triple-teamed, finds a man, and no shooting foul. They finally call one a little bit late. Gabriel Wright Swain was going for. Actually, they're going to say he was out of bounds. So very interesting decision, not giving them the shooting foul. So driving it up, it'll be Sanjay Tiwari. Tiwari will get a screen and deal it to him. Puts it up, and we've got first blood here. It's Dylan Rogers setting the pick and pop and scoring on the layup to give the shooters an early 2-0 lead.
Some of those early leads, those are where you establish that momentum and where teams are able to really capitalize on that. So those early leads are definitely pivotal for these teams.
Lee, this one's going to get away from Tito. And the shooters will recover it. Back to Tiwari on that right side, running the point. Fitting of the number 1 on his back and chest. He'll get another screen, driving for it. Can't get a block, but they're going to say that was a shooting foul. So Tiwari will come to the line for 2, and he'll have a chance to put his team up 2 possessions early as we're just 90 seconds into this first quarter.
These shots, we've seen them a lot today. They are really kind of what matter the most. They're a time when players can line up and just take a deep breath and slow it down for a second, and they definitely are big for these teams.
Tiwari misses the first one from the line. Can he get to 50%? That one will not fall. Tiwari with the board, though. Cutting towards the basket, kicks it out to the outside. Back to the wing, and they're saying he stepped out of bounds. It was Grant Denzak who couldn't keep his feet in. And the Tito Elite will have a chance to tie things up or even take a lead with a big 3. So up comes Elijah St. Ong. St. Ong out to the left wing for 3. Too short, not enough juice under it. The board missing the put up, and Tiwari will end up with it. Jake Hyenga couldn't put it up. That one, a deep 3 from Tiwari, does not hold true, but the board from the shooters, the mid-range jumper from Denzak. Sorry, that's number 30, who we do not have on our roster. So a great job for the intramural staff as the shooters take an early 4-0 lead. This one from the top of the key. Can't get it to fall. The board from Dylan Rogers. Tiwari at the top. Finds Rogers on the left wing. Pump fake. Gets him jumping. And the deep 3 from Tiwari. Dylan Rogers, the pump fake on Hyenga. Gets it to his man on the wing for the open 3.
Streaky shooters with an extremely strong start to today's game. Already leading by 7, now by less than that, now by 5, but definitely a strong start.
Yeah, St. Ong there with the drive to the basket and the lay. Here's Rogers from the left wing. He'll take it this time, and it will fall. A huge 3 in the face of Jake Hyenga. And they will be the first to double digits. Not even halfway through the period. Driving, can't get it to hold true. Hyenga with the miss, but they will call the shooting, and he will, ironically, a shooting on the shooters. So here comes Hyenga with 2 from the line. Tiwari for the shooters went 0 for 2, and that one an air ball. Unfortunate, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely, definitely not what he was looking for, but he has another to seal the deal, so we'll see.
Both teams 0 for 3 combined on free throws. That one will not fall, and the shooters get the board. Almost stepping out was Grant Denzak. Gets it to Tawari with some speed, finds his man in the corner, tries to cut. He comes back, and it's stolen. Dylan Lee with the steal, finds St. Ong. So Lee with the assist to St. Ong, and they now trail by 6, down to a 2-possession ball game at DFA.
Beautiful use of finding an opportunity and taking it all the way down the court there by Tito Elite.
Denzak can't get that one through. It's no good. The board from number 24, Beam Griffith. St. Ong driving, triple coverage, can't get it to fall. And here comes number 30. Driving into the mid-range area, will pull for 3, pump fake, finds his man. And he can't get it. 42, also someone we do not have on our roster. Ong, pump fake to the top of the key. He's double teamed, finds his big center over to number 30. That's Gabriel Wright Swain with his first points of the night, bringing it down to 4.
Tito Elite has seemed to kind of find their rhythm. They started trailing by quite a bit, but have made multiple successful attempts there where it's definitely counted.
That is now 4 straight and 1. The huge deep 3 from Sanjay Tawari, and he'll get an extra to put his team back up by 8. And the work from this Tito Elite offense diminished as some substitutions. In for Maroon comes Jacob Friedman and a 23 who it would be the 3rd guy with no reported number on our roster. As Tawari is 0 for 3 from the line. Timeout Gold, so they'll take a chance to gather. As Logan Tincher possibly preparing for a substitution as the 6th man on the bench. And just like Lambda Kai, looks like Gold has got their own personal videographer.
Definitely, I hate to say the word ego boost on air, but definitely is something that, you know, can spark some more excitement around the game, and maybe we'll give Tito Elite that special.
Okay, it doesn't look like he's only going for Tito Elite considering he just walked over to the Maroon side. So I might have preemptively called something, and I would like to apologize to all those at home for my miscalculated assumption.
But shout out to him for, you know, spending his time like we've been spending our time, and giving, you know, all these athletes.
I hope he's getting paid.
The moment that they've wanted to have, so.
Also, for clarification, we are not allowed to be paid, so we are not being paid, in case anybody from ASU is listening. St. Ong with this after the break. Out to that right wing. Finds his man. There's Lee. Out into the corner. 4-3. Gets it to fall. Gabriel Wright Swain with the 3 to bring it within 4. Back down to 2 possessions is the score. And that one, a great lurk from St. Ong, but it gets away from him. But Tawari steps out of bounds, so some phenomenal defense from Elijah St. Ong.
About 2.5 minutes left here in this first quarter. Streaky shooters up 13. Tito Elite down 9.
The right side, here's St. Ong driving into triple coverage, but getting it to fall anyways. If there was a 2K shot meter there, it would definitely say 100% smothered, but you can never count Ong out. Here from the top of the king, number 34, or top of the key, 34 misses. That was Dylan Rogers, the board from 23, who we do not have. That missed 3 from Jacob Friedman, though. And Dylan Lee with the board. Driving the shooting foul against Elijah St. Ong by, I believe that was number 23. And Tito Elite will get 2 trips to the free throw line, and they have a chance to tie this up. So far, they've outscored them 9-3 on this run, with a chance to outscore them now 11-3 and tie things up. St. Ong sinks it, and that's the first free throw of the night for either team. Of course, Tawari 0 for 3, Hyanga 0 for 2. Ong is 1 for 1. Can he keep that at 100%? Yes, he can. It holds true, and we are tied at DFA. The shooters seemingly have lost momentum. Ong with some very close press defense. Out to his man on the wing is free, or out in the corner is Freeman. Here is Rogers from 3 on the wing. Can't get it to fall. The board from Jake Hyanga. So
tied up game here at Desert Financial Arena, and both teams looking to just regain that lead. It's been kind of a game of transitions for sure.
Tawari will get the board. A deep 3 does not fall. It misses, and a great job of boxing out by Dylan Lee on number 30 in maroon. Here comes St. Ong with the drive. ISO up the court into triple coverage, and again, it does not matter. You can't keep him caged. Another triple coverage layup for St. Ong as Tawari looks to try and give his team some much-needed momentum with under 20 seconds to go in this first period. Tawari doesn't get it. They're calling for the and one, but he doesn't get it to fall anyways, and it's looking like Tito Elite will look to run it out. No, Dylan Lee. In and out, does not fall, so Tito Elite not only the 13-3 run, but that's 9 in a row to end the first period and put them on top when for a large portion of that first period, they were trailing big to the Streaky shooters.
Yes, absolutely. As you said, it's definitely been a game of had leads and then lost leads, and it's been just kind of both of these teams for that whole first quarter figuring out where they stand and where they can find their momentum and when they can capitalize on those movements. So as we move into this second quarter, I think it'll be important that these teams find that momentum and hold that momentum for as long as possible.
Absolutely. Momentum far and away in favor of Tito Elite. We'll see how the Streaky shooters respond when we return after this break from Inferno TV.
Welcome back here to Tempe here at Desert Financial Arena, where the Streaky shooters and Tito Elite are facing off. Currently the score sits at Tito Elite up 15 to the Streaky shooters 13. Starting off with the possession, Tito Elite running down the court. St. Ong looking where he wants to pass the ball to give them prime opportunities. Up for 3, but just short. It won't go in. That'll give the Streaky shooters an opportunity to capitalize.
Absolutely, and Tito Elite just keeps giving them opportunities. But when the ball is in the hands of that man, St. Ong, it's not looking good.
Tito Elite definitely has found those opportunities a ton, but Streaky shooters right now looking for that opportunity. Ball is up, but it's no good, and we'll go back to Tito Elite.
Looked like Hyanga took a punch to the face there from somebody on maroon. It's either Christian Wilburn, Ivan Chan, or Justin Bracolo, as it'll remain into Tito Elite possession.
Passed over to that right-hand wing, back more into the center, currently in the hands of Lee. Ball will be up for 3, but will be knocked off that front end of the rim and will go back to the Streaky shooters. Streaky shooters moving down the court, but quickly lose that momentum that they have, and ball will go back to Tito Elite. making his way down. St. Ong, prominent ball carrier in today's game.
Yeah,
but
beautiful.
Just couldn't quite get there.
Beautiful drive there, but they're going to call a blocking, so the shot does not count. And Tito Elite will get the ball back. Hyanga to throw it in, and he's likely looking for his friend with the big 15 on his chest. No, I was wrong.
Well, it quickly went to St. Ong. But St. Ong and Lee, two definite prominent ball carriers in today's game that have been really kind of looking for each other. Ball will head out of bounds and looks like it will go to the Streaky Shooters.
And so far, after an electric first period, only 2 points scored in the first 3 minutes. Of course, it was Elijah St. Ong. But here come the Streaky Shooters with a chance to bring it within a possession.
Miranovic looking for a play to make, but doesn't quite get there. St. Ong quickly headed down the court, but just can't make that one happen. Ball will go back to the Streaky Shooters.
Looked like he might have been fouled. He was calling for it, but a lot of them, and I know from experience, they won't give it to you a whole lot. Hyanga with a big block.
Ball will go out of bounds and be back in the hands of Tito Elite. Or excuse me, will be in the hands of the Streaky Shooters.
Big crowd in attendance today.
Definitely more than the last game. Almost doubled.
I'd say anywhere but closer to quadruple.
Back into the hands of St. Ong. I have a feeling we'll be hearing that name a lot tonight. But he'll pass it over to Lee, one of his buddies there on the team, and he will be able to sink it in for two.
A big one there. Surprised he didn't go to Logan Tincher, who's wide open in the corner for an open three for probably about 5 seconds.
Streaky Shooter's able to find an opening there.
And that'll end the drought. I think a near 10-minute drought scoring for the Streaky Shooters ends there with the big play.
Tito Elite St. Ong looking for an opportunity, looking for where he wants to place that ball. He'll pass it over.
Oh no, not the big man.
That left wing over there, but doesn't quite get it in. Pass it over to Tincher there, but.
And a good job of boxing out from Darian Marinovich. Did I say Darian? I meant Darren Marinovich. As even though Beam Griffith took a tumble, just a great job of boxing him out, making sure he couldn't save it.
Tuari with the ball. St. Ong looking like he's trying to block, but passes it back. Heads inside, but doesn't quite get there. And that'll go to Dzak out there on just below the net. He'll pass it back. Tito Elite quickly moving down the field in a beautifully placed layup there for St. Ong. Makes it look so easy.
Absolutely. I'd say he's probably got 18 of their 21 points. Oh, we do have stats.
We do have stats. Let me pull it up.
Dylan Lee with the board there.
14.
He's got 14. Swain with the lone three for his boys as well.
Looks like there will be a timeout called by Tito Elite. They will have a moment to reassess and discuss how they're going to continue that momentum that they've kept.
And things have slowed down. In the past 6.5 minutes, it's been Tito Elite scored 6, Streaky Shooters only 2, but Streaky Shooters have scored maybe 2 points in the past 10 minutes of regulation, and they have lost a lot of momentum. They had an electric start, especially with that that and one on the made three for Tawari, I think him being 0 for 3 on the line has definitely hurt them, but St. Ong has just played fantastically tonight on the floor, both at the line. He's 2 for 2, and he's got a near 100% when it comes to his shooting percentage.
I couldn't agree with you more there, Cash. St. Ong is definitely a name that we are going to hear a lot tonight.
Unironically, might be 6 for 7 on the night so far. I think he's only missed one. Yeah, you're welcome, Pearson Dimitri over there.
Ball will unsurprisingly start in the hands of St. Ong. He'll pass it over to Griffith. Underneath the net, ball will be up, but won't quite get there. It'll go back into the hands of the Streaky shooters. They'll pass it down, quickly making moves down there, and it'll be in. That'll be Darren Marinovic in, trying to diminish that momentum and gain points on that board quickly after that timeout.
Now only trailing 2 possessions. It's looking better for the boys in the maroon.
Definitely have lessened that gap. Ball is passed out back to St. Ong, who will shoot for 3. It's up and in and out, just barely misses it.
Might have to stick to those layups where he's seen a lot of success. I believe he's 6 for 6 on the layups.
Ball will trail out of bounds.
Tawari taking accountability for it, saying, you know what, boys, I'm sorry. And it is likely going to have to run through him. We've of course seen Marinovic score, but that's been just about it for the Streaky shooters. But this battle between St. Ong and Tawari, sure to be a fantastic one to watch for the last 2 quarters.
Streaky shooters quickly capitalizing off of that slip up made by Tito Elite, regaining possession of the ball. Tawari looking for a place to go, seemingly frustrated with the refs.
Yeah, they're going to call that out of bounds on Tito Elite. Actually, they'll change the call. Out of bounds on Streaky shooters. Tawari once again losing it.
Seen some mixed emotions from the crowd there on that call. But nevertheless, ball will be in the hands of Tito Elite. But it will quickly be transferred over to the Streaky shooters. We've seen that a lot in this quarter. Pass it over to that left wing. Pushing, driving up, and not quite there. Multiple attempts made there by the Streaky shooters, but just couldn't quite find where they wanted. But it looks like from that they'll gain a couple shots there from the free throw line.
Hyanga tried to get the block, ended up getting the shooting foul.
It'll be up and good. First one's up and good.
And that's the first one tonight for the Streaky shooters, as we're under a minute to go, and can't give the guy at the line credit because, again, we do not have him on our roster. He'll go 2 for 2.
30 goes 2 for 2, adding 2 more points, trying to lessen that gap. Suddenly becomes a 1-possession game. Huge move there for the Streaky shooters.
No shot clock, so they're going to be looking to drive this one down as long as they can take it. Ong trying to direct traffic.
Absolutely, trying to slow things down, give themselves a second to breathe, eliminate those means of turnovers. Up for 3, but it'll be just short. And that buzzer will ring. Beautiful shot from the other end of the court, but even if it did go in, wouldn't have mattered.
Absolutely, and you know what? There were 2 goals on that last drive, on that last possession for St. Ong and company, and it was run the clock out. They did that, and it was trying to hit a buzzer beater. Couldn't get that one to fall. The air ball from Dylan Lee. The score, or the point differential will remain at 2 after the second quarter, but both sides scoring 6, slow second quarter. It'll take a lot. And frankly, Streaky shooters, they need to pick up more momentum. They can't allow Tito Elite to go on another run like we saw between that late first, early second.
Absolutely. And we'll take a momentary break here for halftime. Let these two teams regroup a little bit. Here with Cash Versailles, I'm Cindy Craven. We'll be back right after this short break.
Welcome back to Desert Financial live on Inferno TV. As you can see on the banner in the back, it's the Intramural Basketball Championships with me, Cindy Craven, and I'm Cash Money Versailles alongside the rest of our wonderful crew, Reese Shell, Dimitri Kurlik, Pierce Gordon, and Lachlan McTagg. And it's Tito Elite taking on the Streaky Shooters. Tito Elite lead 21-19, and they've got just about all the momentum, and they're looking to build upon it. And it's due in large part to that man right there running the point, Elijah St. Ong.
Like you said, St. Ong has definitely made lots of good plays there for Tito Elite. Just definitely a strong ball carrier in today's game.
Absolutely. We mentioned in the last period he's about 6 of 6 on driving layups, even when he's triple teamed and contested completely. As the reach in, they'll get the ball back after another toss in. St. Ong will get another attempt. He finds Hyenga. Back out to St. Ong, over to Dylan Lee. Hyenga with the drive and the lay and one. So Hyenga to the line. He's 0 for 2 so far. Looking to build this lead up to 3 possessions and some great ball movement between Ong, Lee, and Hyenga.
Definitely establishing that gameplay and that momentum early on here in this half.
Here's Hyenga. Some stomping, and it's enough to distract them to help the Streaky Shooters as the crowd building a little bit by a little bit. So here's Marinovich. Finds number 30, driving for the board. Can't get it, but a huge play and a block. 42 hurt. Went for it. I believe that was Hyenga with a slamming block. And 42 reaching for the jewels there, and not a great sight for him. Tawari will get the inbound, trying to drive on Hyenga. Gets it all the way out to his man on the wing, number 34. Drives, puts it up, does not work, but Tawari with the huge putback, just slapping it up like he was playing volleyball.
Beautiful plays and beautiful just awareness of where that ball is at and where they can take advantage and make a play when it doesn't look like it's going to be played. So definitely some strong gameplay there by the Streaky Shooters.
Ong with the drive. That's his first miss driving lay. Playing like Ja Moran out there. Hyenga with some great defense, but coming up behind him, number 30 for the boys in maroon with the putback. They won't count it. They'll call the shooting on Hyenga, so that'll end up saving the tie, as the Streaky Shooters, I believe, is 0 from the line. Some distractions from the Tito Elite fan section, as Marinovich now 0 for 1 from the line. Second chance. That one does not fall. It's Hyenga with the board. And the stadium pulse coming in huge. Swain doesn't want it, and they're going to say Marinovich did not touch it last. He said Lee did.
Big uprise from the bench over there on Streaky Shooters, making sure that call is called exactly on what happened.
Marinovich on the right wing, coming up to the top. He's got a screen from Tawari, and he almost had 3. Some good offense and some good ball handling from Streaky Shooters, in the 3 from Tawari, the deep from the left wing. That's been his number 1 area to shoot. But talk about deadly shooters. There's Ong to Lee on that left side. Finds Ong on the wing. Moving back to the top. Lee's open. Takes the 3. Swain couldn't get there in time, but he ends up missing it. Marinovich finds Swain down there. Puts the lay. Can't come up on top with it. A great play by Tawari, but Hyenga slaps it away. Here's Tawari. Does not take the deep 3. Ong manages to get up on him. Tawari will trip, puts it up. No good. They'll call the travel on the floor. Actually, they'll say blocking. And the Streaky Shooters sticking with it, as the Shooters have their first lead, looking to build upon it. as they lead for the first time since the first period. Tawari. Some tough defense from Ong. Turns around. Three is good! Back-to-back for Tawari as they now lead by 2 possessions.
That was a clean three. Did not even touch the rim. Just beautifully placed.
There's Dylan Lee with the turnaround step-back floater. He gets it through on the fadeaway. And they bring it within 2 with 4.5 to go in the third period. Here's Marinovic on the right. He'll get a screen. Spin move, drives, gets it to his man number 20. He'll bat it back in. There's Rogers saving it, tossing it. It's right to St. Ong. He's driving. Triple coverage. It falls. And it is tied once again at DFA.
This has been a game of where no one has had really a clear lead. We can see that with St. Ong regaining possession quickly after giving it away.
And a charge on St. Ong after the steal. The shot still didn't fall, but a great showing as out comes Marinovic, in comes an unnamed 23 for the Streaky Shooters as they look to take their third lead of the game. Some good lead changes in the past few minutes.
Streaky Shooters looking for where they can capitalize and where they can get to where they need to be.
30 finds his man. That's number 20. That's Grant Denzak with, I believe, his first points tonight to put his boys up on top. Here's St. Ong back at the point. Tawari covering. Dylan Lee wide open from 3. Gets that one to fall on the right wing. And the lead back to Tito Elite. It's going back and forth.
Seems like no team can really find that clear momentum, and that momentum is really just shifting back and forth.
Just like you said, proof of concept. There's Tawari with a driving lay and a steal from number 23. He gets out in front of St. Ong. Gets this one to Tawari, a deep 3. That one was from downtown Phoenix just about with, that one was from the Sparky logo. Doesn't get it to fall. Ong, pump fake on that left wing. Back to the top of the key. Out to Lee. Pump fake. Finds his man. Driving. Loses it. No travel call. Probably should have been called. Lee charging. Step back. Finds Ong back on the wing. Some good ball movement. Trying to find guys open. Here's Lee for 3. And it sinks in. Tito Elite with another lead thanks to a huge 3 from Dylan Lee.
Second consecutive one. He just had one moments ago. Really able, that's kind of his sweet spot, and both of his threes have been from pretty much that exact same spot. Really kind of finding that sweet spot for Lee over there.
Denzak misses that one at the top. St. Ong with it now. Running the offense. That one blocked. He'll get it back. Tawari with some tenacious defense finds Lee close to the right wing. Like you said, that's his sweet spot. Ong back at the top. Gets it to Hyenga. To Ong. Driving. Back to Hyenga. He'll drive this time. Loses it. Recovers it. But Tawari with the steal. Along that right side. Slows it down. A deep 3. Can't get that one to fall past just about all of the Streaky Shooters. But they'll end up with it. Number 30 to Tawari. From downtown, he decides against it with the big Hyenga in front of him. 23 takes a charge, stumbles, loses it, gets it back to Tawari for 3. That one off almost the defensive board, but going back to the Streaky Shooters. Beam Griffith couldn't hold on to it. Actually, a foul on the Streaky Shooters is with 35 seconds to go. Tito Elite still with a 2-point lead. A substitute. In comes 42. Out comes Denzak. And running the clock down, St. Ong. He's letting the defense come to him. And a good Bit of deception there. Loses it. There's Hyenga to recover. Dylan Lee from the wing. Can he hit it again? No, he can't. But there is Griffith. He can't put it up. It'll stay with Tito Elite, but that'll end the third period. So still a 2-point difference between both teams. Tito Elite still with the lead at Desert Financial in this intramural championship.
Yes, and we saw Lee, those two consecutive beautiful three-point shots from that spot over on that right-hand side of that court, where two beautifully placed, just couldn't unfortunately sink that third one in. But we'll definitely see in this fourth quarter how he continues to get better and refine his momentum, and if he continues with that spot or if he'll find a new spot. So
absolutely, as we take a look at the star players, it's been Tawari, who's got nearly 20, and St. Ong with nearly 20 himself. As we're underway with the fourth from DFA. Actually, they left some time on the clock in the third period, so that'll end the third. But our points remain the same. It's Sanjay Tawari for the Streaky Shooters, who's been phenomenal, and you can't forget about Elijah St. Ong, who's been phenomenal. Both of them phenomenal running the point.
Absolutely, and Lee's not far behind St. Ong, though. With about 10 points made there in the first three quarters. He's definitely putting points up on the board and finding ways to be beneficial to his team. So definitely some strong shooters on both teams, and we'll see how that carries into the final quarter of today's game here at Desert Financial Arena. Hello and welcome back here in Tempe at Desert Financial Arena, where the Streaky Shooters are facing Tito Elite. Current score sits at Tito Elite 33 and Streaky Shooters not far behind at 31. Quickly in with a three-pointer, but just comes off short there from the Streaky Shooters. St. Ong passes it over to Lee, making a quick break towards that basket. It's up. First one doesn't go in, but the rebound in there by Hyenga is able to get in there.
Hyenga with just a great putback there, putting his team up 2 possessions.
Shot will go up, but is no good. And possession will go back over to St. Ong and Tito Elite. Quick rush towards the basket, but it's no good. Streaky Shooters looking to capitalize on that mistake. It's no good. Looking for a call, but looks like possession will go to Tito Elite there with Lee and St. Ong.
Yeah, and it's really been those two. Of course, can't discredit Hyenga, Griffith, and Wright Swain have also done a phenomenal job. But for the Streaky Shooters, it's primarily been Sanjay Tawari. As speak of the devil, and he shall appear.
Quick breakdown. Just a little far. It would have been a beautiful throw there. Just got a little excited and got a little bit too much depth in their passes there. What would have been a couple beautiful plays there to the basket and some points on the board quickly turned into another possession for Tito Elite. St. Ong with the ball, looking to just burn some time, assess his opportunities, and slow it down.
It's going to be a very long fourth quarter. He wants it to come to him.
Pass back to Hyenga. He'll be looking to score. Bounces a couple times, but just tips off that left side of the ring. Tawari will regain possession for the Streaky Shooters. Quick spin move up, but it's no good, and possession will once again go to Lee. He'll pass over to that left-hand side. Quick break up, but it's no good. St. Ong looking to quickly regain that possession, but just doesn't quite make it happen.
And it's been him and Tawari who've been both at the one spot, who've just showed great tenacity and supreme willpower to will their teams to the point they're in. Of course, the Streaky Shooters would not even be close if it weren't for Tawari.
What looked like it was supposed to be a save of possession quickly turned into a turnover. St. Ong up for three, but just misses, doesn't quite get it where he wants it. The ball will be back in the hands of the Streaky Shooters. 23 over there on that left wing. Passes it over to Marinovic.
And Streaky Shooters, they're on a cold streak. They need to get warmed up if they want to keep this one competitive. Otherwise, this one's just going to get away from them.
Absolutely. Streaky Shooters, in statistical terms, I guess you could say, aren't looking so streaky right now.
Absolutely not. They start off red hot. About as hot as it is getting in downtown Phoenix now. And the reach in there.
Looking like we'll call a timeout. Take a momentary break for these teams to regroup. Now, Cash, if Streaky Shooters aren't super far behind, but if they want to regain that lead, what needs to happen?
Well, obviously it's put in the hands of Tawari, who's nearing 20 points today. You know, put it in the hands of your best player. That's what's going to give you the best chance. But then that comes down to Sanjay Tawari living up to that hype, living up to those expectations of being their best player and actually hitting those shots. He's playing great on defense, and that's why there's been a drought for both teams over the past few minutes. But Tawari also needs to play great offense as well, because if you don't score points, shocker what I'm about to say, if you don't score points, you're not going to win the game.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Looks like Lee will start with the ball there for Tito Elite, but he'll quickly pass it over to St. Ong, who will pass it back to Lee, then to Hyenga, then back to St. Ong. We've really seen those three working together. Back to Lee. Streaky Shooters with pretty good coverage here, but Lee will spin move out of it, but not quite get the ball where he wants it. Ball will go to Lee. Quick layup up, and it goes in. That'll be 2 more points up for Lee and Tito Elite.
And that's Tito Elite just outbigging Streaky Shooters in the paint with Hyenga and Swain.
Tito Elite looking to put some more points up on the board. A 3 out from that right wing, but doesn't quite get it there. And
my point stands. They're putting it in the hands of Tawari. They know they need to put it in his hands if they want to have a chance to win. They only trail 2 possessions. 2 big threes from Tawari would tie this game back up. He's just unable to sink them.
Tawari goes up for 3 and drains it. Beautiful shot. Looking to regain that lead.
And how about this one? Speak of the Sun Devil, and he shall appear. There's Tawari with a big 3 to bring him within a possession.
St. Ong will go up, but he'll be down. Teammates helping him back up.
Marinovic, a big block there And we mentioned earlier how St. Ong has been deadly with the driving lay, and Marinovic, I think after seeing him hit 6 of them, knew for a fact how deadly he could be with those. He gets his hand on the ball there.
Lee back with possession of the ball. He'll put it up, but it won't quite go in. Back to Lee, who will momentarily lose possession of it. It looks like the ball will go back to Tito Elite there, right on the sun.
Yeah, they called a jump ball, gave it to Tito Elite, and it's their 3rd chance now. And they soil it.
Lee looking to get the ball in, but just wasn't quite quick enough. Streaky Shooters will get possession. Tawari, one of their prominent ball carriers in today's game, looking where he wants to place the ball. He'll be up for 3.
Oh,
in and out, so close, really looking to make that, but just doesn't quite make it happen. It'll go up again, but once again falls short.
and look at how upset Tawari is. You can tell how much he wants this one. Big screen from Hyenga.
Seemingly frustrated. Hyenga will pass it over to St. Ong. Looking over to pass to number 30, but doesn't quite get it there. Streaky Shooters pass it to Tawari, doesn't quite get it there. St. Ong will be able to recover.
Oh, and a travel there against St. Ong. Oh, a double dribble. I thought you were just doing 6-7, Pierce, but thanks for the call. He can't blame me. That's all he does. Sorry, Pierce, don't fire me. But yeah, the double dribble could end up costing Tito Elite, who only leads by 3 here with 2.5 minutes to go. I think this is going to be probably the most entertaining last 2.5 minutes. Of course, well, you had the first one as well for the Downtown Phoenix one. That one was really entertaining towards the end. This one might end up beating it, especially if Tawari can sink 2 or 3 deep shots.
I agree. This game has definitely been one of the closest that we've seen today, with the sudden lead changes in an instant, going from 31 to 30 to suddenly 32 to 31 the other way. There are not many moments where someone has a clear momentum and a clear lead. It is switching extremely often in today's game, so will definitely be an exciting last 2.5 minutes here in DFA. Final predictions, who do you think comes up with it?
I've got to think Tito Elite, with just how long they've held onto that lead and how long they've held onto that momentum. It could go either way here with it being so close.
It's hard to say for sure, but
my opinion is just Tito's got more guys.
We've seen a lot of chemistry and just talking with each other from Tito Elite, with Lee and Hyenga and St. Ong there. Pass it over to St. Ong. He'll make quick work down the court, passing it back to Lee, then over to Hyenga. Kind of the big 3 here on this team.
And that one's on the floor. Number 20, that's Grant Denzak. And that one could end up costing him. That's now 2 fouls against the Streaky Shooters and against a foulless Tito Elite squad who's done a phenomenal job of eliminating those mistakes.
St. Ong gets pushed back, but will quickly look for opportunities to get close. Passes it forward to Lee. Then under the basket over there to Swain.
Now Swain to the line. First time we'll see him take some free throws, and just one of them will put his team up 2 possessions. And it will be a big 2 possessions if he sinks any of them.
First one drained. Absolutely beautiful free throw. Couldn't ask for anything more beautiful.
Let's see if this one will be just as beautiful. 100% from the line for Wright Swain to put his team up 5.
Really just looking to increase that gap here with about a minute 20 left in today's game.
Ain't no way.
Ball's up. Extremely close. It looked like it was maybe going to go in there for a second. Streaky shooters are able to regain it. It'll be up and in for 20 there.
I think that's going to stay with the Streaky shooters. I think a transition foul on St. Ong, but a huge 3 from Grant Denzak. And a chance to take the lead. I talked about how good they were at being disciplined, and now they're letting it get to them.
Extremely close, really looking with just about a minute left. Its game has suddenly become extremely close. What started as, well, not even started, but just a few moments ago had a much wider gap, suddenly became the Streaky shooters only behind by 2.
And likely just farming fouls here to get them to get to the line.
Some tension on the court.
And it won't be a foul. They say he's out of bounds. Some great defense from sneaky shooters. And one of the coaches for Tito Elite, he's distraught down there.
Streaky shooters looking just under a minute left. Don't count him out yet.
The man.
Sorry, up, but it won't quite go. St. Ong will regain possession. 40 seconds left.
And here comes the fouls. And St. Ong to the line. Colin, we want Logan Tincher, 45 in yellow. So here comes St. Ong, who's 2 for 2 from the line today.
First one will be up, but just off that right-hand side.
Pierce is giving me a look, so I'll say it. Talk about an announcer's jinx. I just had to, huh? He's 2 for 3 now.
What suddenly goes from 2 for 2 goes to 2 for 4. Call a timeout.
I don't think St. Ong wants me anywhere near one of his games ever again.
You're fired from St. Ong's games for eternity.
You know what? I can live with it. Especially if Tawari pulls off the comeback here. I mean, he's taken an insane amount of threes, and he's hit a lot of them, to his credit.
Absolutely.
Especially that one from the Sparky logo. Like, that one's like maybe 40 feet away.
You know, I'm not great with dimensions, but I will trust your judgment on that one.
You shouldn't. But I am thankful for the faith you have in my abilities. It may be misplaced.
Cash,
it is. I was gonna say it might be misplaced. It's definitely misplaced, but.
Just about 35 seconds left. Streaky shooters quickly closing that gap. Suddenly became a 1-possession game. It's easy to say. It's anyone's game at this point. A shot one way or the other greatly changes the destiny and ending of this game. Starting with possession, looks like it will be Tawari there. He'll pass it back to Marinovic.
Nice behind the back pass there. And a pretty good decision there from St. Ong. Obviously, it's going to give him another chance, but he wants to save time in case Tawari, who, as we mentioned, has been phenomenal from three, in case he hits that.
And this is the time where it becomes a stop clock, so those decisions are crucial. Looking to go up, and it will go in, suddenly tying the game.
And Marinovic is going to go to the line for the lead.
These two shots are huge. 4.8 seconds left. Just one shot will create a lead for the Streaky shooters. They'll go from behind to ahead in just a matter of seconds. Some loudness there from the crowd. First is up, but it's not good. Up for three.
Marinovic with the buzzer beater!
Absolute insane turn of events. What started as a absolute, what we thought was going to just be a win for Tito Elite became extremely quickly a win for the Streaky shooters with a beautiful buzzer beater three-pointer there at the very end. Did you see that coming?
Absolutely not, especially not from Darren Marinovic.
We had been talking up Tawari so much this whole game, and suddenly
the replay, look at this. What a phenomenal play from where Tawari hit one earlier.
We had been talking up Tawari so much that Marinovic just kind of snuck in there at the end.
Tawari, I think, is crying tears of pure happiness and joy. He's in utter disbelief. So are we up here. What a phenomenal play. Bobby Hurley, sign this man. Or Molly Miller, who knows? She might become the men's basketball coach next season.
You could see the excitement from the team, too. As soon as that was drained in, the pure excitement of rushing over to their teammate and congratulating him. The pure distraught by Tito Elite did not see that coming. As I'm sure you could hear in our voices, we did not see it coming. Absolute insane turn of events. This is why sports is so amazing.
This is why intramural sports is so amazing. People like to dog on it, but where do you see that? Well, I mean, I guess a week or two ago at Mortgage Matchup, but where else do you see that? Marinovic with the game winner at DFA for the come-from-behind victory for the Streaky shooters, 42-39. On nowhere else but Inferno TV. From all of us at Inferno TV, Cindy Craven, Cash Money Versailles. Can't forget about the people behind the scenes. Richelle, Dimitri Kurlik, Pierce Gordon, and Lachlan McTagg. Thank you for tuning in. And, of course, don't forget to stay tuned for the 9:45 game, FFB versus Baby Tommy. Maybe that one outperforms this one. So stay tuned for that one on Inferno TV. And goodbye from all of us